Mr. President, deans, members of the faculty, honored guests, and the graduating class of Okanagan College 2013. It brings me pleasure, pride, and honor to be considered an honorary fellow of the college. I have great memories of this place. 1979, if I was here, I'd probably be knee-deep in water. It was a little different. There were no trees. All of the Beatles were still alive. Toga parties were cool. And there were lots of friends and events and activities and things that I have fond memories of coming here at the college. I remember what I thought my future would be then. It was to fix up the Barracuda and race that up in Salmon Arm. I wanted to fly planes. I knew it all, but I've come to learn that the learning had just begun. It's funny how decisions and happenings continually changed my life since grad. When I think about the next 30 years for you, when one of you will look like me and will stand before you to address and reminisce about old friends and colleagues, I wonder what those memories will be. A good friend of mine that I went to high school with, and we both came here to college. We both went to the trades. He was a welder around the corner. His name is Tim Ripple. Who would have imagined that my buddy would have summited Everest a half a dozen times by now? And who would imagine that another friend of mine, Barry Carter, who our families were close, and we were the closest of friends, would have taken a gap year and met a woman in England, and I have not seen in 34 years. So take a moment to look around and imagine, or think about the experiences that I've had, and imagine what will be ahead of you for the next 30 years. My message is that your education is a tool gifted to you by the here and now, and the lessons you will continually learn will pay the most. And that the teaching will go on even though the lessons may take years to understand. I've returned to the college, I'm not sure, 6 or 7 times over the years to retool myself. On average, I attend at least one conference a year to both learn and share those lessons that I have. I like to lift as I climb. You never know when you need support. I believe good fortune comes from kind of a DNA thing, determination, and decisions and happenings. My good fortune on the DNA side, I describe them as decisions and happenings. There was a young lady, her name was Rose. She was a girl who left Hungary and was in Ireland on her way to the Great Promised Land. And she, by happening, got sick on the dock as she was standing there looking at this large boat get ready to come to North America, to the Promised Land. Quarantined and missed the boat. And this was my grandmother. The year was 1912, and the boat was the Titanic. So there is a happening that just goes on, and a decision made by my other grandmother to pick up what she could carry in her arms and leave Poland between the bullets. All of those things are just happenings and decisions that I call like the DNA that has brought you to the here and now. Now, I'll acknowledge that some of you are starting from a difficult place, more difficult than others, and some will have had a gold brick road laid out in front of you. But up to now, it has been mostly that DNA that I speak of. There is no train going down the track. It's more like a boat. It's regardless of where you start, the course is not charted. There are no restrictions on which way to go. Education is like both a gift and a tool. Like a boat with paddles and a map, the vast majority of the world today is denied the opportunity for post-secondary education. Most are not given the tools. So it really is a gift of the here and now. Good fortune also takes determination. Like a young fellow, Scott, impoverished and abused as a youngster, lived in Vernon. He had a passion and a dream for hockey, and he worked his ass off to make it. He couldn't afford a uniform, couldn't afford the jackets, but his teammates recognized his determination and helped him through those difficult times. He spent a summer crossing the continent 6 or 7 times to go try out all around. Long story short, well, I'll stretch it a little bit. Shoveling snow, sleeping in his car to feed himself, he was recognized. The moral of the story is that he had to show up. He was determined. In the end, he was awarded an honorary Olympic gold medal by the women's hockey team. Determination will help you get that goal. When you hear somebody my age say, you know, it's going to hell in a handbasket, or it's tough, it's not like what it used to be. Imagine being born in Baghdad, or trying to check into the college Damascus, Syria today, or Hiroshima in 1945. I am here to tell you that it isn't so. It's an awesome time to be alive. It's an awesome time to live. And besides that, it's not their world, those that say it's gone to hell in a handbasket. It's your world. Welcome to the world of opportunity that comes to you here and now in the Okanagan Valley in the spring of 2013. The world is your oyster. You will travel, you will evolve, you will grow and develop instinct. You will screw up royally. But if your measurement of value includes the importance of a lesson well learned, you will profit from those mistakes. We rarely understand immediately how decisions will alter our journey until we're much farther down the road. The importance, the consequence, and the lessons sometimes come years later. It's an awesome time to be alive when video gamers will save the world. Up until now, you know, the way that our world has conquered or tries to conquer some significant challenges is they'll lock a few scientists into a lab in a university and they'll tell them to work until they find the solution. Never before in the history of our world have we had things like SimWorld, World of Warcraft, where 15 or 17 or 18,000 people can work together on this, solving the same problem. Can you imagine the power of that? What your world will be like. It's an awesome time to believe, to be alive, when business diversification is like playing Tetris. When you can match all the shapes of the various new enterprises that you intend, and you roll them and you fit them and you go into a foundation. It creates a good foundation for your future. To embrace technology and change requires learning as long as change and technology grows. So it could be a while that your learning will continue. Refine your judgment by diversifying how you measure things. We know how to measure profit and loss. That's easy. But how do you measure success? How do you measure happiness? These are the skills learned as life progresses. One of my most important learnings came when I was 50 years old in a car accident. I call it unwilling acceptance. But while I was laying there, stuck, unable to get out of the vehicle, broken leg, and it looked like it was going to burn. The unwilling acceptance is one of the most important lessons and it came 34 years after school. Passion is like enthusiastic infatuation. It brings delight and pleasure, but we are often distracted by the cacophony of the day. We can't hear our internal voice that craves that passion. Listen to your voice. Adjust the path, the work, and even the career, if your voice tells you that. Make your life's work a playground for your passion. A journey's passion is one of the measurements of happiness, where local food, wine, and culinary experiences are embraced by all those who visit and live in this beautiful valley. A world where success and prosperity abound in a fashion that respects the land and nourishes a future for people with zest and integrity. So take your tools, go see the world. Be sure how you want to live. Sustain yourself and those that you love. And if you make it to the beach that you dream of, let it be a playground for your passion here at home. Thank you.